Hello everyone, this is Meenakshi Dilip Birari, working as a assistant professor in chemistry at Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samaj, Nasik. Now this is once again from the second unit of industrial chemistry, that is agrochemicals. Today we are going to discuss about pesticide formulations and slow release pesticide formulation. We have to study why to formulate pesticides, what are the different types of pesticide formulations, and also slow release pesticide formulation in today's lecture. As in earlier lecture, we have discussed the meaning and examples of various terms involved in agrochemicals. We know that pesticide is any agent that has a capacity to kill or destroy pest from its attack. Example DDT, BHC, 2,4-D, etc. So, pesticides are rarely applied in their technical form. Pesticide active ingredients by themselves may not mix well with water. They may be chemically unstable, may be difficult to handle or store, and may be difficult to apply for good pest control. So that to make an active ingredient useful, manufacturers can add other ingredients are sometimes called inert ingredients to formulate the pesticide into the final product offered for sale. So what are the reasons to formulate pesticides? Why to formulate pesticides? Simply, pesticide formulation is useful to increase effectiveness, for good and uniform distribution, for easy handling and application, and also to avoid overdosing. They are usually formulated to improve handling, storage, application, effectiveness, and safety. Pesticide active ingredients by themselves may not mix well with water, may be chemically unstable, may be difficult to handle and store, and may be difficult to apply for good pest control. So that to make active ingredients useful, other ingredients are added into it, and it is called as pesticide formulation, or a uniform and stable mixture of active and inert ingredients which make the final product simpler, safer, and more efficient to use target pest is called as pesticide formulation. The pesticide formulation, it may consist of the active ingredients that controls the target pest, the carrier such as an organic solvent or mineral clay, also surface active ingredients such as stickers and spreaders. It also consists of stabilizers, dyes, and chemicals that improves its activity. To enhance pesticidal activity or to improve the activity, other ingredients such as stabilizers, dyes, and chemicals are also included in pesticide formulation. Formulation development, as we know that pesticide formulation, it is nothing but a uniform and stable mixture of active and inert ingredients which make the final product simpler, safer, and more efficient to use target pest. So that active ingredients may be solid or liquid, and added inert ingredients such as surfactants, solvents, emulsifiers, defoamer, stabilizer, antimicrobials, antifreeze, pigments, buffers, etc. These are used to form homogeneous and stable commercial product. So this one is formulation development, which includes active ingredients which are solid or liquid, and added inert ingredients such as surfactants, solvents, emulsifiers, defoamer, stabilizer, antimicrobials, antifreeze, buffer, and also pigments to form homogeneous and stable commercial products. So we know that to make an active ingredients useful, manufacturers can add other ingredients sometimes called inert ingredients, to formulate the pesticide into the final product offered for sale. So, active ingredients are added into inert ingredients to form homogeneous and stable commercial product. So, this one is formulation development or pesticide formulation. A pesticide formulation may be described by using abbreviations. Many specific types of formulation are indicated by an abbreviation on the product label. These are WP wettable powder, WS water solubility, WSL water soluble liquid, WSG water soluble granules, TC LO low odor formulator, EC emulsifiable, CG concentrate granules, DS soluble dust, like that. So these are the abbreviations on the product label for pesticide formulation. Now we have to discuss the process of formulation, which includes the sources. The ingredients come from many sources. For example, nicotine, pyrethrum and rotenone extracted from plants, that means having the plant origin. Others have mineral origin and some are derived from microbes. However, majority of active ingredients are made in laboratory. So, active ingredients having many sources, some having the plant origin, some have the mineral origin, some are derived from microbes, and majority of active ingredients, these are made in laboratory. When we discuss the solubility of active ingredients, some pesticide active ingredients dissolve readily in water, some dissolves only in oils, and some are relatively insoluble. Now, the types of formulation by use, there are the different types of pesticide formulation, that is dry formulation, for bedding formulation, seed treatment formulations, fumigants and smokes for mixing and spraying with water, and miscellaneous or others formulation types are also. So these are the types related to formulation, pesticide formulation. Dry formulation, that is represented by these abbreviations DP, GR and MG, for mixing and spraying with water. It includes SL, SP, WP, EC, SC and WG abbreviations. Now there are the difference among the various types of formulations. We will study in detail about the difference among the types of formulations. First of all, solution. Solution results when a substance is dissolved in a liquid. The components of a true solution cannot be mechanically separated. True solution does not require agitation to keep its various parts from settling. Solutions are frequently transparent, whereas suspension is a mixture of finely divided solid particles dispersed in a liquid. The solid particles do not dissolve in the liquid and the mixture must be agitated to keep the particles evenly distributed. Most suspensions will have cloudy appearance. The label directs the user to shake well before using so as to keep the solid particles of the product dispersed in the spray tank. So solution is transparent, frequently transparent, whereas the suspensions will have a cloudy appearance. Then emulsion. An emulsion occurs when one liquid is dispersed in another liquid. Each liquid remains its original identity. Some degree of agitation generally is required to keep the emulsion from separating. Emulsions usually have a milky appearance. The active ingredients is dissolved in an oil-based solvent. An emulsifying agent, these are called as the emulsifiers. This can be formulated into the final product and helps to prevent the emulsion from separating. Liquid formulations. Liquid formulations are generally mixed with water, but in some instances, labels may permit the use of crop oil, diesel fuel, kerosene, or some other light oil as a carrier. Then, dry or solid formulations. Dry formulations can be divided into two types: ready to use formulation and concentrate that must be mixed with water to applied as a spray. So dry or solid formulations having two types: ready to use formulation and mixed with water and applied as a spray. So these are the different points related to formulations, types of formulations: solution, suspension, emulsion, what is liquid formulations, and also dry or solid formulations. As we have discussed, what is solution, suspension, and emulsion. A solution is made by dissolving a substance in liquid, and true solution, it is nothing but the mixture that cannot be separated by a filter or other mechanical means. So normally the true solution or the solutions are frequently transparent, whereas a suspension is an even mixture of very small solid particles throughout a liquid. A suspension formulation that has not been used for some time must be shaken well to mix the liquid and solid portions evenly before pouring it into the spray tank, so that suspensions having the cloudy appearance, and the mixture, it must be agitated to keep the particles evenly distributed. Then emulsion. Emulsion is nothing but the mixture of droplets of one liquid into another liquid, and each ingredient keep its unique properties and also identity. So in an emulsion concentrate formulation, the active ingredient is dissolved in an oil-based solvent, such as we use the fuel, kerosene, or some other light oils as a carrier. An emulsifier allows the active ingredients and the solvent to mix evenly with water before application. Sometimes the agitation may be necessary in the spray tank to keep an emulsion from separating. As a rule, emulsion have a milky appearance. So we have discussed in detail about a solution, a suspension, and emulsion. So this one is a solution, that is a suspension, and having a cloudy or the milky appearance, that is emulsion. Then solid or dry formulation can be divided into two types: a ready to use formulation and concentrate that must be mixed with water to apply as a spray. So solid formulations having the two important types: dust granules and pellets are ready to use formulations, while wettable powders, dry flowable, water dispersible granules, and soluble powders are to be mixed with water. So these are the two types related to solid and dry formulations, and it includes a dust, granule, pellets, beds, WP, paste or gel, SP, WDG, ME, WSP, like that. So these are the different solid formulations or dry formulations. Ready to use formulations can be applied directly without any dilution. So they contain the small amounts of active ingredients. Some contain the petroleum based solvents and other are water based. Ready to use formulations are already diluted and may be sold in containers that serve as a applicators. So the examples that may include the aerosols, granules, most beds, and they are especially useful for structural and institutional paste and also for household use. Major disadvantage of ready-to-use pesticide formulations include limited availability and high cost per unit of active ingredients. So that are nothing but the few examples related to ready to use formulations, which is one of the dry or solid formulation type. Again, these are the few examples of dry formulations, solid formulations: dust, beds, granules, pellets, wettable powders, soluble powders, or water dispersible granule, flowable powders. Secondly, liquid formulations. Most liquid formulations are diluted with water to make a finished spray. The three main types of liquid formulations are solutions, suspensions, and emulsions, that is SL, SC, and EC. Besides, there are the water soluble concentrate, which are represented by abbreviation WSC, liquid bed LB, oil dispersion OD, and invert emulsion IE, like that. So emulsion in water, which is represented by EW. So these are the liquid formulations, and also having some abbreviations are the terms involved in liquid formulations. Most liquid formulations are diluted with water to make a finished spray. Now the next type we have to discuss, that is slow release pesticide formulation. Slow release formulation of pesticides is regarding the repositories which release their active ingredient into their environment over a defined period of time. Synthetic polymers such as elastomers, fibers, and plastic, as well as naturally occurring polymers such as starch, cellulose, can be used for preparation of formulations. In these pesticide formulations, the substances are chemically bound or physically incorporated in a polymer matrix by use of different techniques. So slow release formulation of pesticides is retarding repositories which release their active ingredients into their environment over a defined period of time. A novel system has been developed for the slow release of pesticides with advantages of being more practical and less costly than materials currently used. Thermoplastic polymers and copolymers of glycolic and lactic acid are employed as a slow release encapsulating agents. So, when we consider the polymers of lactic and glycolic acids, these are used as slow release encapsulating agents. Slow release pesticide formulations having the different advantages. These polymers releases pesticides slowly with degradation in natural material. Glycolic acid, lactic acid, water, and carbon dioxide. These are the examples related to this. They are also easy to fabricate and controls runoff into streams. The total polymer and pesticide package is easy to fabricate and offers the potential of effectively controlling the runoff of agricultural chemicals into streams while maintaining an effective dose. Aliphatic polymers have been known for sometimes to have excellent physical properties but are sensitive to moisture. Polylactic acid, that is PLA, and polyglycolic acid, PGA, are used in absorbable sutures and prosthetic devices. The polymers of glycolic and lactic acids biodegrade via hydrolysis, giving glycolic and lactic acids, carbon dioxide, and water, all of which are of course harmless. So these are nothing but the advantages related to slow release pesticide formulations. Now we have to discuss the preparation of polylactic acid, that is PLA. The polylactic acid PLA can be prepared by using two methods. First one, that is In this method, the monomer DL-lactide was prepared from DL-lactic acid and polymerized. The resulting PLA was ground to powder and mixed with powdered urea and molded into pellets at 130 degrees Celsius. It contains 25% urea. The polymer slowly biodegrades 0.5 to 1% per day. So this one is the first method for the preparation of polylactic acid. Simply in that the monomer of DL-lactide was prepared by using DL-lactic acid and polymerized. The resulting PLA was grounded to powder and mixed with powdered urea and molded into pellets at 130 degrees Celsius. Second method, in that by using sodium salt of 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid, that is 2,4-D, was hand mixed with powdered PLA and mixture pressed into pellets. The pellets were microscopically examined, revealing a clear polymer matrix encapsulating substantial portions of the crystalline sodium salt of 2,4-D. So these are the two methods which are used to prepare polylactic acid, that is PLA. So these are the methods useful for the preparation of polylactic acid. So in this lecture we have discussed about pesticide formulations, why to formulate pesticides, what are the different types of pesticide formulation, and also slow release pesticide formulation in detail. Now in next lecture we will discuss storage stability test and also industrial entomology. So let us see these topics in next lecture. Thank you.